I have played Celeste a lot. I completed the game in 2019 on the Switch, completed the game in 2024 in March on Xbox with all achievements, and completed the game just recently on Steam with all achievements. Notice something interesting about that? I have fully completed Celeste twice this year and 3 times in total. I would be amazed if I wasn't decent at it by now. So, why did I decide to play it again? Well, first is because of this comment, thank you for that by the way, Celeste is one of my favourite games as well. But the second is because Celeste on Xbox is actually missing 2 achievements, and those are the achievements I will be focusing on today. The 2 achievements Steam has that Xbox doesn't are Farewell and Wow, which are both to do with the last chapter, Farewell. The thing that's a bit weird about this is that the Xbox version still has this level, just not the achievements for it. So, before I got to Farewell, I went through the entire game again. Every level, every cassette, every crystal heart, every B-side, every C-side, and 175 strawberries. I got every other achievement again apart from those 2. Okay, I still feel a little sick, but it's not that bad. So, I've done everything so far in this game. If my controller will move, thank you. Apart from Farewell and Wow, which are both in the level Farewell. So, right now I have 8.4 hours of total playtime, and let's see how Farewell goes. So now is the time to start Farewell. That is one hell of a start. So this whole chapter is about losing Granny and Madeline's approach to dealing with it. She sees a bird that she believes is part of Granny, like the part of Madeline in the game as well, so she decides to follow it all the way to space. Madeline has an outburst and part of her says, "You on your own, little bro," and we begin the chapter. Now I'm not going to go over every screen in the level and not even mention every single difficult one, but just know, even after all my experience playing this game, this is still difficult as hell. So let's begin right here at this section where you have to find a bunch of keys. I like this area because it forces you to get used to the mechanics introduced in this level. For example, to even begin to get the keys, you need to execute a precise jump involving this jellyfish, which is very satisfying to use by the way. You learn how to maneuver with the jellyfish in the air, how to bounce it off of objects to dash and use momentum, how to multitask, how to stall in the air, and how to do more multitasking. A few screens later, and here we have the first very difficult screen of the chapter. It involves a moving object with a spring and a fish. And truthfully, it shouldn't even be annoying. I was just an idiot going through this and died because I forgot how the fish functioned properly, but I eventually made it to the later half of the screen where I died a few times and pressed onward. We grab the crystal heart, but Madeline says, "Nah fam, where's Granny?" And then we learn the wave dash. This is now one of the main gameplay mechanics for the rest of the chapter. A bunch of screens have areas like this, where if you just suck at wave dashing, that's a skill issue I guess. Move on a few screens, and this one isn't that difficult, but it took me a while to figure out. And this screen. I failed so many times on this stupid crap because there are 2 moving platforms in which you have to do a perfect dash jump or whatever the hell it's called, and if your direction is just a teensy little bit off, Madeline joins Granny in heaven. Anyway, this area isn't that bad if you're not an idiot like me. This bit is stupid as hell and took me way too long to figure out, and then we have the sounds that haunt my nightmares. Do you hear that? That jingle? That is the jingle of Granny trying to let me down easy. This stupid rhythm section took me about, only 15 minutes, but it felt way longer because I think I died the most to this part. Well, now we have the beginning to my favorite parts of the level. Madeline grabs another bird, but realizes that it's not part of Granny, and part of us comes out to tell us that. This part is actually lovely because it talks about grief in a way that many people can relate to, how there are healthy and unhealthy ways to move on, and how to talk sense into yourself. Madeline acknowledges that this is a dream and that catching the bird won't bring Granny back. Part of us reminds us that Madeline doesn't have to face grief alone. Also, this next part still eludes me because I don't know if it's a metaphor or real, but Madeline says the bird is trapped because of her, but whether it's the real bird trapped in a dream or just a dream bird is confusing. Also, even though it's a dream, part of us and Madeline act like it's completely real, which makes the situation still have a good atmosphere. But now we press forward to free the bird. This section is mad satisfying to play, so I'm just gonna show some in the background while I make the sound effects because I don't know what else to do. Eeps! Wow! Eeps! Here we have the final screen in the game, which is also the longest. It's a beautiful, satisfying, and challenging mess of fish, jellyfish, electricity, and very precise controls, and here it is. Yippee! Achievement! And my favorite scene of the game. Now, let's see our death count. Oh. And we still need to get the moonberry. Lovely. Do the entire last screen again, but go left at the end instead. Do some tricky jumps and dashes, get to this screen, what? Die by accident. How is that the solution? Oh. Oh no. This is the most difficult screen in the game. And it is almost as long as the last one. I don't think words can do it justice, so with no commentary or my sound effects, please just watch. Let's go! So in the end, I spent nearly 3 hours on the final chapter and completed Celeste for the 3rd time. Let's go over the stats. 11.3 hours of total playtime, which, if you watch my other videos, took me less time to complete than Doki Doki Literature Club. 32 achievements collected. The rarest achievement was WoW, with 6.2% of players achieving it. I'm gonna give it a difficulty rating of 8.5 out of 10, and an enjoyment rating of 9 out of 10. Thanks again to Isla, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, for the suggestion. Please feel free to comment a suggestion, and I hope you all have a good one.